Hi everyone, I'm Beverly. Welcome to Ocean Breath Yoga. And this one will be Ocean Breath with Ocean Breath Yoga. I'm really happy to be spending this time with you, and I want to start with ocean breath because it's so important, especially during stressful times, that you understand and become aware of your breath and how you can constrict your breath during the day or not use it with awareness. And your breath is everything. It is your life. And it can have an effect on your immune system. It can help improve your stress levels. It can kick in your parasympathetic nervous system, that rest and digest portion of your nervous system. There's so much that your breath has to offer you. It works in tandem with your body, with your mind, with everything through your life. First thing you do when you are born is take a breath in, and when you leave this world, you exhale. So make every breath in between count. Ocean breath, you'll have heard called Ujjayi breath. Victorious breath is the translation of Ujjayi breath. One of my teachers, Max Strom, calls it ocean breath, and I much prefer that explanation, that wording of the breath, because it can give you a better understanding of the breath. Normally, as you're walking through the day, you breathe like this. You can barely hear it. You probably can't hear me breathing right now. That's it. It's shallow. It's not very strong, but it keeps you alive. It keeps you moving through your day. Gets you through work, through times with your family. And you've probably noticed that when things are stressful and you start tightening up, the breath becomes short and fast. You get angry fast, the heart's beating, you cry. The breath shakes out of you. I'm going to offer you ocean breath as a way to find balance with everything. All those different kinds of breathing patterns you do throughout the day. So instead of that shallow breath that you just saw me do but didn't hear, I'll give you an example of ocean breath. That was 2 exhales and 1 inhale. That's what you can do with your breath. Everybody can. If you tried it right now, you might think there's no way, that takes too much. It's very constricting. I get stressed, I'm tight. It's not going to happen, but it can happen. What I have seen explained on the internet is ocean breath as a breath. And this is, did you see what my body just did? It collapsed inwards. It dropped in, and there's almost like somebody's punching you in the gut. You're not looking for a feeling of being punched. You don't need to do that to empty the lungs. The lungs will empty naturally as you help them when your diaphragm rises, but you want to make it a smooth and even breath so that it's strengthening and supportive rather than another stress. The inhale can be as long as the exhale. And it can be the same sound as the exhale if you come into position to open up to the breath. So that will be our focus today, and I'll add more with the next video. First, you want to notice if you tend to sit like this. If you're sitting on the ground like I am, it can be very difficult to maintain a tall spine, especially if your tissues are tight and everything hasn't moved much lately. So find yourself some support. I'm sitting on a little cushion. You could sit on a bigger bolster. You could sit on some blocks. Anything that's propped under the back of your tailbone so that it tips your pelvis forward, acts like a wedge and tips you forward, helps you lift up. And now your spine's longer. And then check in. Once you've found that position, I'll give you a moment to do it. See what it feels like. Keep adjusting until you feel a sense of being able to be here. If your legs are crossed and it's still hard, take a leg and stretch it out. Figure out what can support you, or sit in a chair. Now that you're there, that you've found a little more comfort, check in with your shoulders. Are you still feeling like you're slightly rounded forward, and are your shoulders rolling down, or are they up here? If that's what you're feeling, take a moment, just lift and pull the shoulders back. Try that again, lift and roll them back. And if you always on the computer and always leaning forward, that might feel slightly uncomfortable as you bring them back, but check in with that discomfort. That discomfort might actually just be the tissues having never had a chance to release behind you, and they're not sure what to do. But if you do this a few more times, they start to ease up, soften. You're adding fluid, and eventually you can settle into your shoulders. And then find a place that your hands are comfortable. If your hands come center and it pulls you back forward, instead let them rest on your lap. Again, you can be in a chair, you can be anywhere, and you can still do this. Turning your palms down might keep you forward. That's a little more internal, what's called internal rotation for your shoulder. But external rotation gives you more space across your chest. So if you find that palms down keeps your shoulders feeling a bit locked, turn your palms up. Now you've got a little more space, and that breathing space across your chest just stretch open a bit, because you took the muscles that are attached here and pulled them outwards. Now try taking a breath seated like that. A little easier to breathe? Good. As long as you can find a little more space for your breath, you're already in a different place than you were a minute ago. You have shifted something. You're already providing more support to your system. One last thing is your jaw. Do you tend to lean forward? Now that you've sat up straight and pulled the shoulders back, it's a lot harder to let the head lean forward. But if you're on computers, this is what happens, and boom, your throat gets stretched, but your cervical spine sitting back there is bending in now towards your airway, and it's pushing against it and making it smaller. So you want to pull the back of your skull to the space behind you, push it back, feel your chin, finding a more balanced space at center. It came down a little bit, but I'm not doing this. It came down, but went backwards. Now, take a deep breath in again, and let it out. You're ready to remember how to breathe in a way that feels wonderful. I will see you at the next video. Just practice your posture, practice that length of your neck, practice just breathing for the fun and joy of breathing, and I will see you the next go round. Namaste. Take care.